Pause. Back up. We needed a pretty cover and a thriller. This is a book that I've put on my TBR like at least twice and haven't read yet. I think I'm just gonna skip this one. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam. Welcome to my TBR game. This game gets chaotic. If you have not watched one of these with me before, welcome. It is always a wild ride. As usual, if you have watched a TBR game with me, you know that we've never played this game the same way twice, and this month is no different. So I asked y'all last month what I should do to replace TBR treats, and I got so many answers. And pretty much every single person was like, be nice to yourself. Make it self-care. Make it rewards. Do something nice. And my natural instinct was to be like, no, I want chaos. Bring me chaos. Bring me self-torture and chaos. However, I've decided to listen for once. Maybe y'all are right and we do need something a little bit calmer to kind of balance out the chaos of the game. So I am still calling this TBR Treats, but it is going to look a little bit different. So I still have the same jar, but instead of books to buy in here, I have reward prompts. So for example, I know we have remove a book, swap a book, buy a book. I have a viewer recommendation jar now, so that's one of these. And then I have this little jar over here that has some books that I found in the comments that y'all had suggested. So they're going to look a little different. We might actually get some like calmness in the midst of the chaos. We'll see. I don't know what I'm hoping for, honestly, but we'll see. So we will kind of play those by ear this month as we kind of figure out exactly how each prompt is going to work, but I think it'll be good. But if you have a book that you want me to add to my viewer recommendation jar, leave it down in the comments because I only have 4 in there right now, so I need some more options. Let's talk about what January looked like as far as my TBR. It's actually only the 24th today, and I'm filming this very early, but I have essentially finished my January TBR. Considering we had to start the game all over last month and essentially had 2 TBRs in one, the game was fairly nice to me, and I'm not mad about it. So this is the stack minus 2 books that I don't own. I'm gonna do my best to remember the prompts. We had Until the End by Abby Glines, which was for highest rated on Goodreads. I did read that. We had Hairpin Bridge, which was a TBR vet. I did read that. We had The Last Legacy. I want to say that was like 3-word title maybe. I did read that though. The 5th season was definitely 3-word title, and I did read that. Legendborn was 1-word title, and I did read that. And then A Light in the Flame was a free peg, and I did read that. Then we had Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I do not remember the prompt for that one, but I did read that. And then we had Red Rising, which was a 5-star prediction. I started that and I DNF'd it, and let me explain. So I started it as an audiobook and I wasn't loving the audio, but I don't own the book and I don't want to buy it yet. So I have it on hold, the ebook and the physical book at my library, but they haven't come in yet, either one of them, so I couldn't finish it this month unless I wanted to finish the audiobook, but I just was not vibing with that narrator. So I decided to do a soft DNF for now, and I'm going to try it again when the book comes in at my library. So because it was kind of an unintentional DNF, something that I couldn't really do anything about without spending money and going out and buying the book myself, I'm not going to take punishment for that because I did try. And also, y'all, it is the 24th, and I have read 24 books this month. I don't need a punishment this month, I promise. So, all in all, January was fantastic. Wrap up for that is coming soon. You're gonna want to watch it because I still have 7 days left, and so far I've been averaging a book a day. It's been a wild, wild month, but I can't wait to share. Next, we're gonna jump into setting up the board, getting it all together. I am still gonna use the D12. Every single month I forget if it's die or dice. Every single month. Y'all have even told me multiple times, and I don't know why I can't keep this information in my brain. I just like, it's one of those things that I just can't remember no matter how many times I look it up, no matter how many people tell me, no matter how many times I try to remember, I cannot. So D12 thing, because it's the one that I found the quickest, so that's what we're gonna go with. let's set up the board. All right, we only have 10% battery on this thing, so let's hope we can get through this quickly. We're gonna roll the die for, I didn't even say which one, but I guess we're going challenge prompts because that was the first one I thought of. So we need 8 challenge prompts. Can y'all see that? That's not super fun, but it'll be okay, probably, maybe. I don't know why I'm opening the jar like I'm gonna do something with it. I need the marker. Okay, that's not too terrible. I mean, spot 9 doesn't look super fun, but like, it's been worse. Next, we'll do hard prompts, get the not fun stuff over with. I didn't roll how many I need. Okay, just kidding. Oh, I only need 1. I can work with that, and it's going on spot 10. I can work with that. Now we'll do free picks. 9. Ooh, that's a lot of free picks. I have very mixed feelings about free picks. Well, that's an interesting turn of events. I'm not sure how I feel about spot 6. I'm really not. Most people would probably be really happy with free picks, but like, I have mixed feelings. Alright, and now we're going to do the new TBR treats, which I don't know how many of these I'm hoping for because I really don't have that many prompts for it yet. 9 of those as well. I kind of hope we hit some of these just because, like, they're new. Okay, this will be an interesting game. Alright, the board is set up. This is already looking quite interesting. So, we're just going to jump right in. Let's jump into the first roll. Roll number 1 for February. 2. And we immediately started with a a TBR treat. Okay, this is where we kind of have to figure out like exactly how we're going to be doing this. So let's see what we get and then we can decide what that means. Viewer recommendation jar. Okay, well that wasn't difficult. That is pretty clear. So we pick a book from the couple that I have in here. There's only 4, so. Miracle Creek. Okay, this was recommended not that long ago. I don't know anything about it, so let me go look it up real quick. Alright, so we started with the viewer recommendation jar, which I didn't really expect to start with that, but I'm not necessarily mad about it. I didn't have a lot of things in there, so there weren't a lot of choices, but the first book that I will be reading in February is Miracle Creek. This is by Angie Kim, and I think it's a thriller. Basically we have a small town in Virginia, which is convenient because I live in a small town in Virginia. And we have this group of people that all know each other because they're part of like this special treatment center thing, something about a hyperbolic chamber. But that said hyperbolic chamber explodes and kills 2 people. So I guess it's like a mystery of like what caused the explosion, who caused the explosion, what's going on from there. I don't really know, but I was able to put it on hold on Libby for an ebook, and it says 2 weeks wait, so I should be able to get to that in February. No problem. So not a bad start. Let's jump into the next roll. Okay, I'm gonna put this back because I don't have that many prompts and I feel like we could get multiple viewer recommendations in a month. And then I will put this one over here so that I remember that we used it. Alright, roll number 2. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another TBR treat. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Oop. Skip a prompt. Okay. Let me talk about this one. Okay, so we got TBR treat again, and the prompt that I got was skip a prompt. I think what I'm going to do with prompts like these is I'm going to save them until I need them. So it's like a little get out of jail free card. If a prompt comes up and I don't like it, I can just skip it. And I don't know necessarily if I'm going to just replace the prompt or like pick something different or if I'm just gonna like skip that whole book in general. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna hold on to this until I get a prompt that I don't like. However, since this roll did not give me a book, I am going to pull something out of the pitcher jar regular prompts so that we can still get a book. Alright, we'll put this over here so that we can save it for when we want it. And I don't know what I want. I feel like I didn't shuffle these last month. Let's go with this one. Has a map. A book with a map. Alright, that shouldn't be too difficult. I have a lot of fantasy books. This should be pretty easy. Next prompt we got was a book with a map. So I'm gonna go with a reread because I want to reread this series before I read the newest book, which just came out this month. So I'm gonna go with The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a young adult political fantasy with a little side romance plot. We've got fairies, we've got Jude, who is a human brought into the fairy world. I have very mixed feelings about the series. I read it the first time right after reading ACOTAR because somebody told me that it was very similar. It is not. Do not go into this book thinking that it is like ACOTAR or you will ruin it for yourself. This is not a fantasy romance. This is a romantic fantasy. There is a difference. So I'm gonna give it another shot and see how I feel about it. I did give the first and third books like 4 stars, I think. I didn't like the second book at all though, so we're gonna see how it goes. I am really excited to read The Stolen Heir though, so I want to reread this series so that I can do that. 6. And we get our first challenge prompt of the game. That could be absolutely terrifying. I feel like I should probably start shuffling these before we start playing. Okay. This one's already open, so that's kind of scary. Choose 2 books for the same prompt. Okay, that's not too terrible. That one's chewed up. I don't know how I feel about that one. I know what happened to that one, but I don't remember what prompt it is. Let's go with this one. One-word title. Okay. Next prompt was one-word title, which was kind of difficult. I didn't have a lot of options here, but this is a book that I've put on my TBR like at least twice and haven't read yet, so I think it's time. So I am going to go with Thistlefoot. This is by Jenna Rose Nethercott, and it was my book of the month pick back when I had book of the month sometime last year. And all I know is that it's like a Baba Yaga retelling. We have a house with chicken legs. That's all I know, so I am intrigued. I keep saying I'm going to read it, and then I don't. So it's time. Hey, roll number 4. 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another challenge prompt. Well, we were halfway through the board. We are no longer. We got go back to the beginning. I should have expected it, honestly. We get this almost every game. And it's fine. It's fine. We only have 3 books on the TBR so far. Wait, I was supposed to pick 2 for that last prompt, wasn't I? Oh no. Oh no. I need another one-word title. Pause. Back up. Okay, so 2 things. 1, I definitely forgot that I needed 2 books for that last prompt. And I definitely do not have another one-word title. And I could look something up, but I also went through like my TBR on Goodreads, and there aren't any one-word titles that I can get from the library there either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that challenge prompt and I'm just going to like push it forward to this one. So we gotta go back to the beginning, so we will go back. We will have to draw a prompt anyways. So I'm just going to pick 2 books for the next prompt. And it'll be okay. Okay, we're back at the beginning. We do need a new prompt, and we will have to choose 2 books for this prompt. A new release. Alright, 2 new releases. I can do that. We have fixed our mistake. We are back at the beginning. Honestly, I deserved that considering I forgot to fulfill the last prompt completely. So I needed 2 new releases, and I'm going to go with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which follows Emily Wilde, who has written this Encyclopedia of Fairies and An Academic Rival and secrets about the Fae and all sorts of things. I'm getting like fantasy romance vibes. I'm getting like magical mystery vibes. I am very intrigued, and I've been wanting to read this pretty much since it came out. I am so sorry if you can hear my cat screaming in the background. She is fine. She is fed. She has water. She just wants attention. She'll be okay, I promise. The second book that I'm going to choose for a new release is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I'm about to start Ninth House, but I only have a week left, and I am also annotating another book, so I think that I probably won't start this until February. So this is the second book in the Ninth House series, and I really like it. I'm actually pretty sure the series is called Alex Stern, but the first book is Ninth House, and it's like dark academia set at Yale. We have like demons and magic and all sorts of things and secret societies, and it is so much fun, and I loved the first book. And I'm so excited to read this book. I have already heard really good things about it. Okay, so here we are. I don't know what roll we're on, but we're just gonna go for it. 9. And we get 2 challenge prompts. I don't even know what to say, honestly. Challenge prompt number 1. Go back to the last challenge spot. Okay, well that's way back there, but that's alright. And we're gonna need a prompt for that, but let's go ahead and do our other challenge while we're here. Remove the next free spot ahead of you. Okay, so that's here. So we'll just take one of those off, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Alright, now we need 2 prompts since we had 2 challenge prompts. Okay, prompt number 1, a pretty cover. Dang it, I already used my favorite pretty cover. And prompt number 2, a thriller. Okay, I can do that. Next up, we needed a pretty cover and a thriller. So for pretty cover, I'm going to go with The Obelisk Gate. This is the second book in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I read the first book last month and absolutely adored it, and I can't wait to continue the series. And I just got it as an ebook for my library, so I will be reading that. And then for thriller, I'm going to go with Invisible Girl. This is by Lisa Jewell, who is one of my auto-buy thriller authors. This book seems kind of complicated. On one hand, we have Owen, who has been like accused of sexual misconduct. He was a teacher, he was fired. He ends up in like this interesting online community. We also have his neighbors who are a physiotherapist and a child psychologist, and they think there's something off about Owen. And then we also have Sapphire, who was one of the child psychologist's patients, but then she disappears, and the last person to see her alive is Owen. I think we all know the vibes we're getting from that. I picked this up because it was at a cheap bookstore, and it was Lisa Jewell, so we're gonna give it a shot. I think this will be a very interesting ride, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, next up, 5. Regular picture prompt. Nothing special there. I think we kind of need one of those. Oh, this is the torn up one. The dog got it. Under 400 pages. Okay, I'm not mad about that. Next prompt was under 400 pages, so this book is like 370 something pages. I'm gonna go with The Goal by Elle Kennedy. This is the 4th book in the Off-Campus series. Each book follows a different hockey boy at this college and a girl also at the college and their romance. I can't really talk much about this book without giving things away from the other books, but this one does have a pregnancy trope, which is not my favorite. So we're gonna see. I am less than excited, but still want to finish the series. And one of my friends read it and actually ended up liking it, even though she was really unsure about it as well. So we're gonna see how this one goes. Okay, I have no idea what roll we're on. 6. We're getting a lot of 6s in this game. 2 TBR treats. Oh, and I still have my skip a prompt. I haven't used it yet. remove a book. Okay, so our next TBR treat was remove a book, which I think I'm going to use the same way as skip a prompt. Specifically, I'm going to wait until the end, and then I can remove any book that I want from the TBR. So we're going to save this. But I do need a prompt because that one didn't give me a book. Enemies to lovers. Alright, let me see what I can come up with for that. Okay, so our next prompt was enemies to lovers, and this is one of my favorite romance tropes. Like, that's pretty common. However, I don't really have any that are on my radar at the moment, and I have a lot of other things I would rather read. So I actually think I might use my skip a prompt. And I don't know if that means that I should just skip it or if I should replace it. I mean, it says skip a prompt, not replace a prompt. Maybe I could make another one that's replace a prompt. I think I'm just gonna skip this one. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I mean, I have one that I could go with, but I'm just not in the mood for that one right now, honestly. I'm just not really in like an overly romance mood, and I already have one romance book on here, so I really don't want to add another one. All right, we're gonna use the skip prompt, and we're just gonna move on to the next roll. 12. We are very close to the end. A number in the title. Okay, a book with a number in the title. That might actually be kind of difficult. Just kidding, that wasn't difficult at all. We are going to go with 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This is the same author who wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I absolutely devoured. I think she's really, really great at YA thrillers, and I am so excited to read this one. We are following Red, who is on a road trip with her brother and his girlfriend and like some friends, and there's 5 of them total. They're in an RV. The RV breaks down, and it becomes very clear that it was no accident. Somebody is hunting them. So they have 8 hours until daylight. So they are trying to survive and also figure out who the target is, why everybody's keeping secrets, and all of that fun stuff. I'm so excited for this. I can't believe I forgot about it for a second. Like, I can't believe I thought that prompt was going to be hard. Alright. I guarantee this will probably be our last roll. Yes, it will. Okay, here's the spinner wheel. And I have not actually added TBR treat, but it's right there. I just haven't added it yet, and that's okay. I don't know where my Sharpie is, so that one's TBR treat. Okay, let's spin. Free pick. I can pick anything I want. Okay, I can do that. For our last prompt, we got a free pick. I could pick anything I wanted, so I decided to be nice to myself, and I'm going to go with The Wicked King, since I already know I'm going to attempt to read the entire series in February. I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the official TBR. And I still get to remove a book. Which book do I not actually really want to read all that much? Okay, so I almost feel bad doing this because it was a viewer recommendation, and I will add it back to the viewer recommendation jar. But I'm in such an audiobook thriller mood. Like when I read thrillers recently, they're almost always as an audiobook, and this one's not available as an audiobook from any of the libraries I am a part of. I am about to join a new library that's like one city over that I am allowed to join. So they might have it. So I might put this back on the TBR next month, but I'm going to take off Miracle Creek. Only because I can't get it as an audiobook, and I know that I probably will not read it as an ebook, and I don't want a punishment next month. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will put it back. I do intend to read it. I do think it sounds really good, and I do want to read it, but I don't think this is the month for it. Plus, it's the only book that I don't have content planned for. Like, pretty much everything on this stack here, I have content planned for within February or March, so I kind of need these books. So I'm going to put it back in the jar because I do want to read it, just not in February. Maybe March. Granted, I might still end up reading it, especially if my library that I'm about to join does have it as an audiobook. I might still end up reading it, but it's not going to be on the official TBR. So we ended up with 9 books. I've got 8 here plus 1 that I don't own. So we have The Obelisk Gate, which was pretty cover. We have The Wicked King was a free pick. 5 Survive was a number in the title. The Goal was under 400 pages. Invisible Girl was a thriller. Hellbent was a new release. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies was a new release. Thistlefoot was a one-word title. And The Cruel Prince has a map. A book with a map. Gotcha. So, 9 books. Not too bad considering I read 24 this month. We got a lot of fantasy going on here. But honestly, I'm not mad about that. And we do have a couple thrillers. 1 romance, which is good because I'm not really in an overly romantic mood at the moment. Fantasy romance, yes please. Contemporary romance, just not really in the mood for that right now. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you want to see more videos from me. And if you hit that like button, it supports me so much. Not only with just like my self-esteem, but it also actually does support the channel and help me out as a YouTuber. So I would really appreciate that. And you can also hit the little bell icon if you would like to be notified when I post new videos. I post on Sundays and Wednesdays. Thank you again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Oh, don't forget to leave viewer recommendation books in the comments. I need to make like more. I need more than 4. Give me them so I can put them in my new jar.